Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. This is RetroDog34, and if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to hit that bell so you get notified when I upload new content. All right, so huge update. We know that update 29 dropped this week for PC and Mac, and this is probably, in my opinion, the second largest type of update after One Tamriel. This also changes how we will go forward and play the game. The biggest update for this was the Champion System 2.0. The first Champion System was updated or was brought to us back in 2015 in Update 6. So this is a long overdue. With that also came, or with this update also came racial skill line changes. So our racial skill line passives have completely changed too. So that's what this video is going to talk about. We're going to actually get into each of the races and talk about those different skill lines. So without further ado, let's get into this. All right, so first up we have the Imperial. Diplomat, increase your experience gain with one hand and shield skill line by 15%. Increase your gold gain by 1%. Tough, increase your max health by 2,000. Imperial Mantle, increase your max stamina by 2,000. Red Diamond, reduce the cost of all your abilities by 3%. When you deal direct damage, you heal yourself for 394 and restore 333 magicka and stamina. This effect can occur once every 5 seconds. So now our changes. Diplomat, increase your experience gain with one hand and shield skill line by 15%. Increase your gold gain by 1%. Tough, increase your max health by 2,000. Imperial Mantle, increase your max stamina by 2,000. And Red Diamond, reduce the cost of all your abilities by 6%. Next up is the Orc. Craftsman, increase your experience gain with heavy armor skill line by 15%. Increase your crafting inspiration gain by 10%. Brawny, increase your max stamina by 2,000. Unflinching Rage, increase your max health by 1,000. When you deal direct damage with the weapon ability, you heal for 684 health. This can occur once every 4 seconds. Swift Warrior, increase your weapon damage by 258. Reduce the cost of sprint by 12% and increase movement speed bonus of sprint by 10%. So our changes. Craftsman, increase your experience gain with heavy armor skill line by 15%. Increase your crafting inspiration gain by 10%. Brawny, increase your max stamina by 1,000. Unflinching Rage, increase your max health by 1,000 when you deal direct damage. You heal for 2,125 health. This can occur once every 4 seconds. Swift Warrior, increase your weapon and spell damage by 258. Reduce the cost of sprint by 12% and increase your movement speed bonus by 10%. Next up, we got our Wood Elf. Acrobat, increase your experience gain with the bow skill line by 15%. Decrease your fall damage taken by 10%. Hunter's Eye, increase the stealth detection radius by 3 meters. Increase the movement speed by 10% and your physical and spell penetration by 1,500 for 6 seconds. Yulif's Endurance, increase your stamina recovery by 258. Resist Affliction, increase your max stamina by 2,000 and poison resistance by 2,310. Gain immunity to poison status effect. So the changes are: increase your experience gain with the bow skill line by 15%. Decrease your fall damage taken by 10%. Increases Hunter's Eye. Increases your stealth detection radius by 3 meters. Increase your movement speed by 5% and your physical and spell penetration by 950. Yulif's, I always mess that up. Endurance, increase your stamina recovery by 258. Resistant Affliction, increase your max stamina by 2,000 and your disease and poison resistance by 2,310. All right, next up we have our Nord. First up is Reveler. This increases your experience gain with two-handed skill line by 15% and increases the duration of consumed drink by 15 minutes. Next is Resist Frost. Increase your max health by 1,000 and cold resistance by 2310. Gain immunity to chilled status effect. Next is Stalwart. Increase your max stamina by 1500. When you take damage, you gain 5 ultimate. This effect can occur once every 10 seconds. And lastly, we have Rugged. Increase your physical and spell resistance by 3,960. So with that, we have our changes. Reveler increases your experience gain with the two-handed skill line by 15% and increases the duration of any consumed drink by 15 minutes. Resist Frost. Increase your max health by 1,000 and frost resistance by 4,620. Stalwart. Increase your max stamina by 1,500. When you take damage, you gain 5 ultimate. This effect can occur once every 10 seconds. Rugged. Increase your physical and spell resistance by 2,600. Next up, we got our Red Guard. Wayfarer. Increase your experience gain with the one-handed and shield skill line by 15%. Increase the duration of any eaten food by 15 minutes. Martial training. Reduce the cost of your weapon abilities by 8%. Reduce the effectiveness of snares applied to you by 15%. Conditioning. Increase your max stamina by 2,000. Adrenaline Rush. When you deal direct damage, you restore 950 stamina. This effect can occur once every 5 seconds. Alright, so Wayfarer. Increase your experience gain with the one-handed and shield skill line by 15%. Increases the duration of any eaten food by 15 minutes. Martial training. Reduce the cost of your weapon abilities by 8%. Reduces the effectiveness of your snares applied to you by 15%. Conditioning. Increase your max stamina by 2,000. And last, Adrenaline Rush. When you deal direct damage, you restore 1,005 stamina. This effect can occur once every 5 seconds. Next up is our Breton. Opportunist. Increase your experience gain with light armor skill line by 15% and increases your alliance points gained by 1%. Next is Gift of Magnus. Increase your max magicka by 2,000. Spell Attunement. Increase your spell resistance by 2310. This effect is doubled if you are affected by burning, chilled, and concussed. Increases your magicka recovery by 100. And lastly, Magicka Mastery. Reduces the magicka cost of your abilities by 7%. So our changes are increase for Opportunist, increases your experience gain with light armor skill line by 15%, increases your alliance points by 1%. Gift of Magnus now increases your max magicka by 2,000. Your spell attunement is probably going to be the biggest change. Increases your spell resistance by 2310. This effect doubles if you are affected by burning, chilled, or concussed. Increase your magicka recovery by 130. Lastly, Magicka Mastery reduces the magicka cost of your abilities by 7%. Next up is High Elf. I don't have a level 50 High Elf, so I'm going to go ahead and read off some of the notes that I found online. So Highborn increases your experience gain with the Destruction Staff skill line by 15%, increases your experience gain by 1%. Spell Recharge. When you activate a class ability, you restore 640 magicka or stamina based on whichever is lowest. This effect can occur once every 6 seconds. When you use an ability with a channel or cast time, you take 5% less damage. Bane Boon. Increase your maximum magicka by 2,000, and Elemental Talent. Increase your spell damage by 258. Alright, next up are our changes. Highborn increases your experience gain with the Destruction Staff skill line by 15%. Increases your experience gain by 1%. Spell Recharge. When you activate an ability, you restore 625 magicka or stamina based on whichever is the lowest. This effect can occur once every 6 seconds. When you are using an ability with a channel or cast time, you take 5% less damage. Bane's Boon. Increase your max magicka by 2,000. And lastly, Elemental Talent. Increases your weapon and spell damage by 258. Next up is our Khajiit. Cut Purse. We're going to increase our experience gain with medium armor skill line by 50%. Increases your chance to successfully pickpocket by 5%. Robustness increases your health recovery by 100 and your stamina and magical recovery by 85. Lunar Blessing is increase your maximum health, magicka, and stamina by 825, and Feline Ambush increases your critical damage and critical healing by 10%, decreases your detection radius in stealth by 3 meters. Now for our changes. Cut Purse increase your experience gain with medium armor skill line by 15%, increases your chance to successfully pickpocket by 5%. Robustness increases your health recovery by 100 and your stamina and magicka recovery by 85. Another one of the changes is Lunar Blessing increases your maximum health, magicka, and stamina by 915. That is up from 825. And the Feline Ambush increases your critical damage and critical healing by 12%, up from 10. Decreases your detection radius in stealth by 3 meters. Next up is our Dark Elf. Ashlander increases your experience gain with the dual wield skill line by 15%, reduces your damage taken from environmental lava by 50%. Next is Dynamic, which increases your max magicka and max stamina by 1875. Resist Flame increases your flame resistance by 2310. Gain immunity to the burning status effect. And Ruination. This increases your weapon and spell damage by 258. So for our changes, Ashlander increase your experience gain with the dual wield skill line by 15%, reduces your damage taken from environmental lava by 50%. Dynamic increases your max magicka and max stamina by 1910. This is up from 1875. Resist Flame, this is a huge change, increases your flame resistance by 4,620, which is up hugely from the 2310, and it now changes to resistance and not immunity. Ruination increases your weapon and spell damage by 258 now. Alright, lastly is our Argonians. I don't have a max level 50 Argonian, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at notes very similar to what we did with the High Elf. So Amphibian increases your experience gain with the Restoration Staff skill line by 15%, increases your swimming speed by 50%, which I always thought was not a very useful skill, in my opinion. Life Mender increases your healing done by 6%. Argonian Resistance increases your maximum health by 1,000 and disease resistance by 2310. You also gained immunity to disease status effect. Resourcefulness increases your maximum magicka by 1,000. When you drink a potion, you restored 4,000 health, magicka, and stamina. Now for our changes. So, Amphibian increases your experience gain with the Restoration Staff skill line by 15%, increases your swimming speed by 50%. Still not a very useful skill in my opinion. Life Mender increases your healing done by 6%. Huge change here, Argonian Resistance. Increase your max health by 1,000 and your disease and poison resistance by 2310. This is one of the bigger changes. And this is a huge change, especially for those that play an Argonian tank. Resourcefulness increases your max magicka and stamina by 1,000, which is good. But here's the decrease. When you drink a potion, you restore 3,125 to your health, magicka, and stamina. This is down from 4,000. This is a huge effect to them, making them maybe not best in slot for tanking anymore. But that is, again, my opinion and my play style. All right, with that, I appreciate you guys going through this video with me. Again, huge changes coming to Elder Scrolls Online, especially when we're considering just the champion system altogether. And now with our changes in our racial skills, this could potentially change a lot of different builds out there, a lot of different play styles. But again, it already launched this past Tuesday on PC, and it's going to launch next week on the console. So definitely look forward to all the different type of builds that you guys come out with. I'm definitely going to look into some of those out there, and we'll be posting about them. You guys have a great day, and I appreciate it. Again, if you could hit that like and subscribe button and hit that bell for notifications. Thank you. You guys have a great day.